chick chatters.
Oh, is that what they are? Is chick chatters? I like it.
I like it too.
I love it. Okay.
If you're coming back for the second time, thanks for coming back. We're going to go over the ultimatum pretty soon, so look out for that. That will be coming out soon. And Plathville is coming out at the end of September, so I know I'll be wanting to cover that.
Oh, I'll cover it with you. I've been trying to get this girl to watch Sister Wives, everybody. So I will film Plathville with her if she will start getting into Sister Wives. Because it's just gold.
Okay. Today, we're covering episode 2 of Match Me Abroad. I'm not sure what the title is. Do you know what it is, Anne?
I will look.
I've had a theory that all the episodes started off having like a sing-songy thing, and then all of a sudden it just went completely off the rails. So I don't know what they were trying to do with that, but they had something really good going at first.
So it says, so the first one's matchmaker, make me a match, find me a find, catch me a catch, look through your book, bring me a ring. And then it kind of...
You think you'd get a prince?
You think TLC is like onto something, but I
know.
Guess they're not. So yeah, season 1, episode 2, make me a match.
We start the episode off with Stanika.
Yes,
and she's talking to Nina before she goes to Morocco. We find out that Nina herself is also pretty nervous. She doesn't tell Stanika that, but she tells us that in the little confessional, that she's never matched somebody who has never dated before.
But the funniest thing was when Stanika was like coming into the airport and this big, nice, beautiful man picks her up and she's just giving him the eyes right away. She was so excited. She's like, "You here for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to pick you up." She's like, "Okay, baby. Come on, baby.
Yeah, come on,
Come on."
Yeah.
Like she was just ready. I think she thought that was her match for a second, and I don't blame her. Because of how, because Nina described her match at one point. Like, I have you set up with somebody, and she's like, "Let me see a picture."
She did, yeah. But she didn't show a picture because that's not her policy.
Yeah, she doesn't show pictures, but she described like, he's tall and he's dark and handsome, basically. So Stanika sees this tall, dark, and handsome man at the airport, and she's just like, "Baby, come on, baby."
But I just love her. She's got good energy. I kind of like didn't pay as much attention to her on the first watch because I was just so enthralled with Harold. But Stanika is good. I mean, she's got good energy. She's really happy all the time. Like, she's a little bit naive, of course, but like that's fun to watch. So just like her southern accent is just like the best. She's got this like newfound confidence that like nobody can really say anything to her about anything, and it's just fun to watch.
She's just so funny. She don't give a crap.
So then we get into Susan with her dog again, Calliope. She's asking Calliope if she wants some wine. I don't think they got their wine. I think the hotel just served food.
Yeah, and I thought that was weird.
I know, but luckily
she's going really weird.
Juan, and Juan shows up with some wine.
And then she's giving Calliope like the wine with her fingers. Yeah, gave me Jessica vibes from Love is Blind.
Yes. Yeah, she kind of is like a Jessica.
I think she's just the older Jessica.
Yeah.
I can see it. But that's when Juan tells us that Susan has this really long list of things that she requires in a man. And it's not just like a list, it's a packet of paper.
Yeah.
And he's thumbing through the packet and telling us these things.
Yeah.
I'm so happy there was a packet sitting next to me. And Juan was saying how he was nervous because literally nobody can match every single one of those qualities that she's looking for. So she's basically kind of setting herself up for excuses on failure and stuff, like, because obviously nobody's going to have everything. But one of the things that he read that was like the best thing was at the very end where he said, "Emotional vampires need not apply." I was like,
I know. It's so good.
You're still going.
I'm still going.
Emotional vampires need not apply. I haven't seen that one before.
And he's like, I don't even know what that means. He's like,
and
but
here we are, like Susan has these big expectations for Juan. Like she thinks that he knows all this stuff about her, and I think she has this idea that he's very excited about her, and in fact he seems exhausted already.
well, it's kind of like how you said in that first episode, how she filled out this like questionnaire and thing, like thinking she's getting this in-depth like almost therapist that's gonna set her up with her dream man, this man that's like gonna know her inside and out based off this questionnaire, and I'm gonna give him a whole packet of things about me. But then after that, we have Natalie.
So she's 25. She's from California. She is just kind of like the normal young college girl. I don't think she said she graduated, but she said she went to college or goes to college at UC Berkeley. And then she also has a Sri Lankan background. So she talks about being like torn between probably like mainstream like college culture in the US, and then like her family and her mom, who we get introduced to, who is very Sri Lankan. I mean, she's speaks the language to her. She has like the same values and norms from where she came. We find that Natalie is very torn between the two worlds, and mom wants to match her or arrange her or propose her. The words are kind of all used interchangeably, but mom wants to find her own match, and Natalie's being rebellious.
Her mom is persistent on finding that match too. She's going to look, even when Natalie's off in Colombia, she's going to go look for matches for her. So
I know.
She's like, I will never give up.
Which is funny because then they cut to Juan, and I think a producer asks him, like, do you think you're a better matchmaker than her mom? And he's like, oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd hope he'd say that because he's a matchmaker, Like every time Juan talks about his clients, he's like, I've never had one like this before. So
no, I wonder, is Juan really a matchmaker? Is he a life coach or something, became matchmaker? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Juan is something else.
We also learn about Natalie that she wants a Colombian guy to bring her out of her shell, and she also thinks that they might use a bidet, and so they probably wash their booty.
I'm like,
yeah,
what are you dealing with before? Like, what do you think we people deal with in American men and stuff like that? Like,
I have no idea.
I would just hope that they have basic human hygiene, and if they display signs that they don't, then I probably would turn around and be like, yeah, no.
So we got Harold up next. I think this is Harold's only scene.
It is.
But as promised, he is in every episode. He's arriving at the airport, and Katerina picks him up. She says he has a boyish kind of attitude. She's like, I feel like I'm picking up my youngest brother. That just made me laugh. And then she called his suspenders
braces.
Braces, yeah.
Yeah. Because at first when she was like, where are your braces? I was really like thinking, does he have like a leg brace or something?
Yeah.
I was confused. And then later when she explained his suspenders, I was like, oh, I'd be asking that too then.
So then they get in the car, and she starts right off with some questions and some suggestions for him right off the bat. She's got some questions about his height. I think they're similar in height, so I think she's noticing that like she's not. I think he said he was 5'8" or something, and she knows she's not 5'8", so I think she's noticing he's probably not that. And cute Harold, he says, "I'm getting older, so I may be shrinking."
I mean, he could be, but he just might have wanted to believe he was 5'8", but which is fine. I mean, it's not that big of a difference from. I mean, I don't know, maybe from our height, it's not that big of a difference from 5'6" to 5'8" because we're 5 feet tall. But
I know. I was thinking about that actually, because height kind of seems to be mentioned like more than once when it comes to the matchmakers. And I've also watched like Indian matchmaking on Netflix. And height is like a huge deal there too. And I guess I never realized how big of a deal it is, because I feel like for us short people, I don't know, let me know if this is your experience too, but I feel like we don't get a choice. Everyone is always taller than us. It's just a matter of like how much taller than us. So I don't think about it. When I think about dating, height is not even on the criteria, because like I don't know.
So for me, it is okay. So it is a little bit to an extent because I am already 5 feet tall. So I worry to have such a small boy because so I do look for some inches. Like I remember there was a guy in high school that was literally my height, and his mom wanted me to date him so bad, but I just could not do it. I understood that he was maybe like that much taller than me, but to me, I was like, I can't,
You were probably like the perfect girl to his mom.
I'm sure I was, but I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's just, for one, I'm not really that interested, but two, I can't. It's too short for me. So I do have a limit, but everybody is taller than me, so I don't mind. So I really wouldn't have been upset with like a 5'6" guy, but I'm like 5 foot, so that's still 6 inches above me. Mm-hmm. But my husband is 5'11", and I'm totally okay with that because maybe our kids got a shot, in sports.
So. Yeah, possibly.
Some.
Next, we have Stanika. She's finally in Morocco. And I love that she says, like, I'm going to go find me some love. Like, that's her thing that she says all the time. But I don't know, it just comes across like she's looking for, like, an Easter egg or, like, gold under. Like, she's just going to find
it. She's literally going to find it. Yeah. Her and Harold have the same mentality about it.
But I did also learn, so she's going to meet Nina for the first time. And I did learn, I think she is a nervous singer, because I don't know if you noticed, but when she first met Nina and said her name, she sang her name to her. So she did. Like, Nina! Yes!
Nina tells her about her date, that she's going to be going on this walk and stuff. And Stanika did not want to go alone.
Right. Yes, yeah. She invites Nina on the date.
Yes. He's like, you're going to be there, right? Nina's like, no. I mean, no. I don't normally go on the dates with my clients. She's trying to be as like professional and nice as possible,
Right, but Stanika, I mean, she has a strong personality, but she's also so sweet. So Nina just folds immediately. Like, she actually says, like, whatever Stanika wants, Stanika's gonna get.
I understand why she was kind of nervous, especially because you're in a different country and you don't know this man, and the only person you know from this country is your matchmaker. So
for real, I really thought, truly, outside of the show, that this was the smartest thing that Stanika has done thus far, was to ask her matchmaker to come with her, because just like you said, she's in a different country. She doesn't really know anybody else. And obviously the matchmaker is going to set her up, hopefully with somebody trustworthy that's not, going to hurt her. But it's her first day ever in a different country. So I think that was the smartest thing that she's done thus far, like the most thought through, thinking about the future kind of thing. And then they arrive to the date together to find French Montana. I mean, Nordine.
We're going to have to do, I'm going to put up a side-by-side of French Montana and Nordine, because, yes, they do look very similar.
Nordine, he is a 41-year-old tour guide, that he's a local there, and that he has studied about the United States, and he would eventually like to move to the United States. So that's why she thinks that they're a good connection.
Yeah. And he does have really good English.
He does. Yes. That's part of the reason he reminds me of French Montana, because French Montana has kind of like an accent, but not, it's very understandable. And I think Nordine's voice is really similar. I don't know. I'm going to call him French Montana interchangeably.
So the real bread and butter of the episode is what we get to, which is Susan's date.
And I really think that Susan has more expectations for Juan with this first date than she does with her first date in general. She really wants to know what about this guy makes Juan think that she's good and vice versa. Juan, at the same time, is testing Susan to see if her long list of needs is actually what she wants. So lots of testing going on here between the two of them, which sets us up for a
psychological thriller.
Yeah, a psychological thriller, but just an awful date. Like, I hated this date. So then Susan goes on her date. She's waiting for Miguel. I don't think we learned anything about Miguel, did we?
We did learn that Miguel is successful and that he has his hair. That was the main thing.
That's what it was, yeah.
I believe he was 44. And I believe his work is he's an engineer. He's some kind of manufacturer engineer or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They start trying to, find some things in common, talking a little bit about themselves. And I don't know if it's the editing or what, but I mean, Susan felt that way too, but I don't know if they edited it to make it look worse. But truly, she could not get one single word in.
When you were saying they were getting to know each other, I was like, who? I was like, that man was just getting Susan to know him.
I know. So like, she would say something in response, and probably 3-4 words in, he would interrupt her, say something again. Sometimes it had something to do with the topic. Sometimes it was completely different. The one time Susan goes like, and what does that have to do with this?
What does that have to do with NASA? He cut her off a lot. And she says, pretty much this was going like,
and it was. Susan herself said that that's the way it was going, and that's exactly how it looked. So she wasn't feeling him. I think she learned that like pretty quickly, that she was kind of turned off by him.
She was mortified when he ordered a steak because she was trying to get out of there.
Yeah, so it comes time to order, and she's like, let's just have some snacks, And so he orders some ceviche for her. And then he's like, I'll get a well-done steak. A well-done New York strip. It's probably going to take like 20 minutes just to cook it.
Yeah, and when she was trying to just mention like, hey, we should just get some snacks, he goes like, any orders?
I know. I'll take a steak.
Susan just went like all types of upset.
She was appalled. So appalled. She goes to the bathroom and has an entire rant about why would he order a steak? And then she says she's steak stuck.
Steak stuck.
I mean, she was.
She was so steak stuck.
Steak stuck.
But she was totally right on that, especially depending on how you like to order your steak, because if you get a mid-well, you're stuck.
Steak stuck.
Totally stuck.
Steak stuck.
And you should walk away anyways. No one should eat steak that way.
I do.
Same time that dude ordered his well-done steak, which to me is like desert dryosaurus, Susan says this date is so dry. And I'm like, yes, girl. Like, everything about this is dry.
Yes, until it rained.
Then it rained.
Until it rained.
And I take my drink.
And Susan thought it was her out, which I don't know why she didn't take the out. She could have just walked off.
And I take my drink.
Off, that's what she seemed to really want to do. Mm-hmm. But she waited.
She was trying to be a good sport. Like, she's all the way in a different country to go on a date. Like,
yeah, but it was just funny because then she was hoping that it would rain them out completely and they could just sleep, but then they put the roof back. So she was like, but she's like, I'm just going to end it. So she went back to the table and they were both talking at the same time, but saying totally different things. She was trying to be like, this was great. I'm going to go home, whatever. And he was like, I hope to see you again. Like, this was lovely. She was just kind of like, I don't think we're a connection. And he's just confused.
I know.
And then when he was talking just to the cameras at the end, he goes, right now she's just saying things. She's just saying I'm a friend. And basically that's good to start out as friends. And, why not go on another date? I was just sitting here thinking like, Susan is mortified right now.
I know. She literally walks out of the restaurant and shudders. She's just like, ugh.
And I take my drink.
And honestly, I love to laugh at Susan a little bit, but I'm Susan. Like if I was her age and, you know, had a marriage and was divorced and had money, like I would be Susan. And I would not stand for a man that does not listen to me. Why would I go on a second date with that? So I don't know. To me, yes, it seems like this guy had some of her criteria, which was a good thing, but obviously Juan is trying to teach her a lesson here of like all the things that are on your criteria doesn't equal a connection, which is true, but like this guy just sucks. I think there's probably better guys that could have this criteria, like hair and money and, you know. She was talking angrily about Juan, I think in the cab ride home. Because she got in the car and whoever the driver is, he's like, "Oh, no bueno," and she goes, "No, nothing bueno."
Nothing bueno. Yeah, Susan was very upset with Juan about this date. Yeah, he had wronged her.
I mean, I don't blame her. I hated this date. It was awful.
And I take my drink.
She even admitted that he did check off things on paper, but he just wasn't the right. He was, in her words, he was a male part. So.
Oh yeah.
And she said it a couple times while he was saying at the same time, "I would love to see her again."
I know. And I always is so weird to me, like how people can be so oblivious, because Susan was making eye contact with the camera several times, rolling her eyes every time she got cut off. Like, are you seeing this? She did that 4 or 5 times. And you're sitting right in front of her, dude. If you can't clue into that, then you're probably not paying that much attention to her. She was not wrong in this situation.
It was like Jim from The Office. Like, she'd be looking at the camera and then she'd roll her eyes.
She gets back home or to her hotel and the episode is over. It's a quick one. A little teaser for the next episode. And we have Natalie back. She's going to go do like a little dance class with Juan so she can tap into her inner sexy. And then we'll finally see Stanika's date with Nordine. Susan's going to confront Juan about this mockery of a date that he set her up on. And we get to see Mark Chad for the first time, so that's going to be an exciting thing. And we get to, I think, also see Harold's first date. I don't know if we see all of it in that episode, but I think
yes, we will see it all unfold on the next episode.
So, all right. Well, thanks for watching with us for the second time, or thanks for joining us if you're starting to get into it here with us. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, and subscribe if you wanna stick around for more.
And you should just like it even if you don't like it.
Yeah, because why not? What's it do?
Why not?
Okie dokes, guys.
Awkward.
Awkward. Yeah.
Awkward.